Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are, and welcome to the latest episode of the My Coach Ben podcast. In today's episode, we'll be delving into something that's crucial for our personal and professional development, and something that confirms trust in ourselves both inwardly and outwardly. And this is arguably the holy grail of any working environment. Ladies and gentlemen, guys and gals, today we'll be unraveling the topic of empowerment. Welcome back, everyone, and thanks for coming along, and of course for the continued support for the channel. Without further ado, let's get into it. Empowerment. Is it real gain, or is it just something to treat with disdain? Why should we bother? Why don't we just toe the line and just get on with it? Nothing wrong with that, is there? Let's have a look. Firstly, what is empowerment? Let's start with our usual definition as provided by the good old Oxford English Dictionary. So I'm going to put a definition up here. Empowerment, a noun, authority or power given to someone to do something. Individuals are given empowerment to create their own dwellings. The process of becoming stronger and confident, especially in controlling one's life and claiming one's rights. So political steps for empowerment of women, for example, a foundation to promote economic empowerment for poor communities. Therefore, empowerment is the giving of trust in oneself or others in order to achieve, whether this is in a professional, personal, or other area of life. The trust itself enables self-expression in order to execute whatever task or goal that has been set. Empowerment in the workplace. Here's 5 points to consider when we're looking at empowerment in the workplace. So empowerment at work involves giving employees the authority and autonomy necessary to make decisions and to take ownership of their own tasks. We all know the feeling of being or wanting to be left alone to get on with the job, or of course being trusted to actually do the job in the first place. So that's the first point. The second point is it involves providing employees or members of the organisation with all the tools, resources and training needed for them to excel in their roles, whether this is software or other information, and also professional development opportunities. This is also important, something that's often spoken about, and sadly the ratio for the actual delivery is not quite that high. Promoting open communication and collaboration. So previously mentioned in another episode was culture and of course accountability, fostering free-flowing ideas and welcoming feedback. So just allowing people to express their perspectives freely. So this is another crucial point for empowerment in the workplace. Recognizing and celebrating achievements. So recognizing members' contributions boosts morale, and of course validating efforts. So we all know the situation when you've done some work, you've put a lot of time and effort into it, and then it doesn't really seem to be recognized, or it doesn't seem to be appreciated. Or of course, in the worst case, somebody feels that that actually it should have been done a different way. And finally, but definitely not least, is to have an inclusive and open environment. So there we're talking about valuing diversity and promoting equal opportunities. Again, topics which we've previously visited in the podcast. Eliminating barriers and biases, of course. This is crucial for people to feel accepted and therefore equally empowered at the same time. And accepting multiple perspectives, because with eliminating barriers, then other perspectives can come to the fore, and the individuals thrive in the environment. So as you can see, there are many ways to enable empowerment in the workplace, not just these points that I've mentioned, but there are countless others. And when there is empowerment in the workplace, we can all agree that it's a much nicer place to spend time and to develop. From the coaching perspective, now, as you know, this is a regular part of the podcast, and here we're going to have a look at 5 questions you could employ. Again, not in any particular order, but just to see how empowerment is actually being implemented, if at all, in your organization, and if it is, whether or not it can be improved. What specific outcomes do you seek to achieve through empowerment? In what areas do you feel particularly empowered? At this point in time, in what areas do you feel particularly empowered? Conversely, at this point in time, in what areas and situations do you feel least empowered? And what specific actions can be taken to increase the sense of empowerment in these areas? And lastly, but definitely not least, how will you measure progress toward becoming more empowered? Again, with just those 5 questions, it actually probes quite deeply into the level of empowerment there is and what can be done. And above all, the question, what do you want to achieve with empowerment? And the answer, as we've previously looked at, is simply to instill trust and confidence in oneself and in the organisation as a whole. In summary, empowerment is the embodiment of trust. It also brings together areas such as diversity, collaboration, recognition, and a sense of achievement. So therefore, the answer to the question at the top of the podcast is, of course, definitely empowerment is a gain. It can be whatever you want it to be. Ultimately, empowerment is something that is used for gain. It's only used for disdain when empowerment is seen as some kind of threat. And unfortunately, this is something that we see now and again. But nonetheless, it's a more than positive element which can be introduced into any organization and for any particular person as well. And in essence, empowerment is something that we not only all want, but it's actually something that we all need. I'm going to wrap it up there, guys. Thanks very much for staying until the end. It's greatly appreciated. And of course, for all the support throughout the year. It really has been greatly appreciated. And it's actually gone a lot better than I thought this endeavour actually would. So thank you very much. And I can't finish without wishing you all a very safe, happy, healthy, and jolly Christmas, and all the very best of everything in equal measures for 2024. Remember, like, subscribe, tell your friends and family, and let's continue to grow the channel into the future, beginning with the coming year. And so with those season's greetings, until next time, all the best. Peace. Your Coach Ben. So communication is, no, we haven't had something on communication, have we? No. Oops. Many ways to skin a cat. So recognize empowerment in the workplace. There are many these ways, the progress towards and I can't finish without wishing you all a very safe